The Guru is the one who brings that light to our lives. That's what the word Guru means. The remover of the darkness and the bringer of the light. So that light of the Guru is always full, always pouring. So when we talk about a full moon, what is that celebration? Well, the light of the full moon, the light is the Guru. But the moon itself is us. What do I mean by that? Well, the moon itself, as anybody who's had even a very, very basic biology class knows, the moon itself actually has no light. The moon is a piece of rock. The light that we see in the moon is the sun's light, being reflected off of that piece of rock onto us. So that light, the light of the sun, never gets less or more or full or half or quarter. All that changes is the alignment of the moon between the sun and the earth. When the moon is in full alignment, perfect alignment, we look up and we say, wow, it's a full moon. When the moon is out of alignment, we look up and we say, oh, there's only a sliver of the moon, or it's a new moon, it's a lightless moon. So the light, that constant source of light, that infinite source of light, that's the Guru. And on Guru Purnima then, the question becomes for us, am I full? Guru though is always full, but am I full? Am I a full reflection of the light of my Guru? Am I able to fully absorb and then reflect that light? Or am I only half? Am I a quarter? Am I a sliver? Am I feeling lightless? And if I'm feeling lightless, or like just a sliver, then the question becomes, where have I gone out of alignment? Where have I gone off that path such that the light is there, I'm there, but I'm no longer able to absorb it and reflect it? There's a wonderful story, one of my favorites, of a man who's in search of enlightenment. The best Guru, the highest Guru, who's going to give him enlightenment. And he asks around, and everybody points him to this Guru on the top of a mountain. And so he walks, and he walks, and he walks, and he climbs the top of the mountain and gets to a cave, enters the cave, and he sees the Guru sitting there in meditation. And he bows at the feet of the Guru. And he says to the Guru, Guruji, I'm here for enlightenment. Here's all of what I've done. Here's all of what I've learned. Here's now what I need from you. Here are my challenges. And the Guru says to him, have a cup of tea. And the man says, tea? I didn't come for tea. I came for enlightenment. And the Guru says, have a cup of tea. So he goes to the back of his cave and he comes back with a teapot and a teacup, and he puts the cup down and he starts pouring. And he pours and he pours, and now the cup is full of tea. But he keeps pouring. And now the tea is overflowing and it's spilling on the ground. And the man says, stop, stop, the cup is full. It can't hold anymore. And the Guru says, you are like this cup. You are so full already of what you think you know, what you think you've learned, where you think you've gone, what you think you need, what you think your problems are, that there's nothing I can give you. And that's what happens in our lives. The light is there. The Guru's grace, the Guru's light is shining, that divine grace. It's always there. But sometimes what happens is our cup gets full. Or as Pujya Swamiji says, we're sitting in the room, praying for the light, praying for the sun. But our curtains are drawn. So it's not about chanting mantras for an everlasting flow of tea, or chanting mantras for the light. It's about figuring out how to empty our cup, how to open our curtains, so that we can experience that light, we can experience that grace of the Guru. And we ask ourselves then, well, if I'm being showered in divine grace and divine light, where's it all going? What's happening to it? If I feel like I'm living in darkness, if I feel like I'm just a sliver of the moon, where's that light going? What's happening to it between the source and me? Where's it going? And for most of us, what's happening is that light is getting suffocated, is getting drowned in the darkness of our own egos, of our own desires, of our own sense of how things should be, what we think we need, where we think we're going. Most of us are living our lives with tunnel vision. It's like we've pulled all the paper towels off of a roll of paper towels, and now we're just looking at the world through the tube. And we're saying, but the world is so small, where's the light? Where are the flowers? Where's the sun? But we've got this tunnel vision. There was a wonderful story, true story, of a very, very famous psychological study that they did, where they made a video of a basketball game. And in the basketball game, they had two sides. One side was wearing red shirts, the other side wore blue shirts. And they called all of these subjects in, regular people, people like us, good people, smart people, called them in and they made them watch the video. And they said, okay, you have one job. Your one job is to count how many baskets the blue team makes and how many baskets the red team makes. Okay, so most subjects thought, well, this is a very, very easy experiment. So they watched the video very, very carefully, counting the baskets. But something very interesting happens. In the middle of this basketball game, a huge gorilla comes into the middle of the basketball game, starts to dance in the middle of the game, stays in the middle of the screen for many, many seconds, and then dances off the screen. Okay. Now there was no sign, of course, that said a gorilla has just come in the basketball game. But nonetheless, it's pretty hard to miss. It's, you know, people in shorts and t-shirts that are either blue or red. Now you've got this big, hairy, black gorilla. And at the end of the experiment, all of the subjects were asked how many baskets were made by this team, how many baskets by that team. And then they said, and this was the key question, did you notice anything unusual? And here's what's amazing. We would sit here thinking, well, of course everybody saw it. 50% of the people, half of the people, never noticed that a gorilla had come into the middle of the basketball game. Their eyes were open. They were fixed on the screen, counting baskets very, very attentively. 50% of the people, and they've done this study over and over and over and over again because nobody believed it. Now what that means is, if I drew a line right about here, everybody on this side or everybody on that side would miss the gorilla in the middle of the basketball game. Now why do I share this? Because we spend our lives saying, where's the grace? Where's the light? Where is God? Where is the Guru? And if we're not going to notice a big, huge, hairy gorilla come right in front of our face and start to dance, then how in the world are we going to notice anything? But the important part of the study was why it happens. It's not that we're blind, it's not that our eyes are bad, it's not that we're generally stupid. It happens because we are focusing on the baskets. If they were not told to count baskets, everybody notices. 100% of people notice. If they were just told to watch this game, it's the focus on the baskets that makes us not notice the gorilla. And in our lives, we've got this tunnel vision. We are so focused on getting our own needs met, getting what we want, getting what we think we need, fulfilling our egos. How this is going to happen, how that's going to happen, what will happen here, what will happen there. That we don't even notice that the grace is being poured because our cup is so full. And then when we do come to temple, or the Guru does come in our lives, we see the Guru, we see God in that same framework, that same tunnel vision framework of our desires. And we come to the Guru and we come to God with, I want this, I want that. This should happen like this should happen like that. We expect God and the Guru to be like a vending machine. That just, we put in our dollar bill and we push the button and whatever we want, it comes out. I've said my prayers, I've given my dakshina, I've done my abhishek, therefore, the button I push, it should come out. In a vending machine, we go up to it, we put in our bill, we push the button for a chocolate bar, and that chocolate bar comes out. The vending machine doesn't care that we're 400 pounds, or we're diabetic, or we've got heart disease, or our teeth are all rotten and have fallen out. But in life, we come to God, we come to the Guru, we put in our dakshina, we push the button, and what we want doesn't come out. And so we think, oh, it's time for a new mantra, a new Guru, a new temple. I'm going to the wrong temple. I've said the wrong prayers. The Guru is broken, the temple is broken, the mantra is broken. Without realizing, no, we've got exactly what we're supposed to have, exactly what we need, exactly what's right for But it takes that faith to believe it. But what we've got to realize is, look, the universe, this divine creation, has planned so perfectly for everything. We take a seed, we put that seed in the earth. The rain's gonna come. The sun is gonna shine. That seed is going to sprout. That seed is then going to become a tree and there's going to be fruit on it. But if that seed, we're so worried, when is it time to sprout? When is it time to sprout? When is it time to sprout? That it wasn't able to listen to that internal voice. And it ended up sprouting in the middle of snowy, frosty ground. In the middle of winter, when the inner voice is saying, no, wait, it's not the right time. But if, like us, that seed were convinced, it's been too long, I've waited too long. I've done my mantras, I've done my prayers, I've done my puja, now it's time. It would die. Any seed that tries to sprout if there's 4 inches of snow is never going to make it. But if that seed has faith, that when the snow melts and the ground gets a little warmer, something inside it is going to start to happen. It doesn't have to wonder every day, today, now. Something inside it is going to make it know. Now it's the right time to sprout. And then, when it sprouts in the summer, it grows very, very quickly. And it becomes this beautiful tree. If the caterpillar spent its life begrudging the fact that it's only got 8 legs or 16 legs and the millipede's got 1,000 legs, why was it shortchanged? Why does it always get the short end of the stick? It would never hear the call to weave its cocoon and become a butterfly. Or if sitting in that cocoon it thought, I've waited too long, it would come out before it could fly. But the universe is perfect. The universe has given everything in nature that inner knowing. You never, ever, ever see caterpillars squirming on the ground because they forgot to build their cocoons. You never see half caterpillar, half butterfly things fall out of cocoons because they burst through too soon. It never happens. So if that universe, if that divine is giving that inner knowing to seeds, to insects, to caterpillars, of course we've got it. Of course we are also being cared for. But we just have to have that faith, have to understand that we're in the arms of the Guru, we're in the arms of God. I want to conclude with just a beautiful parable of a man who spends his life clinging desperately to this rope that's holding him up. Because if he lets go, he's going to plummet to his death. So he holds on very, very, very tightly lest he should fall and die. And one day, an angel comes to him and says, let go of the rope. That which you're looking for, that peace, that joy, that faith, that serenity, will come only if you let go of the rope. But the man said, I can't let go. If I let go, I'll plummet to my death. I have to hold on. And the angel said, well, maybe just one finger. So her voice was so sweet, the man thought, all right, one finger. So he let go with one finger and immediately started to feel a great sense of security and calmness and joy. And slowly, slowly, this angel convinced him to let go, finger by finger, until he only was holding on by one finger. And he was amazed, he couldn't believe it, that his one finger was keeping him alive, keeping him on this road. And he noticed that he felt much more secure, much more peaceful. Now the angel comes to him and she says, one more finger. This one is up to you. And of course he's terrified, because who wants to plummet to their death? But something within him has started to grow, a faith has started to blossom. And he decides, well, even if I die, I've experienced this peace, I've experienced this joy. And so he lets go with his last finger and closes his eyes, fully expecting to crash to his death. And he doesn't go anywhere. And he's amazed. And he looks down. And he discovers he's actually been standing on the earth the entire time. And it was the robe that had kept him a prisoner. The earth was there. The earth was supporting him, holding him. But because he had his arms clutching this rope his whole life, there was nothing he could do, nowhere he could go, and he was full of fear, full of tension. And in our lives, that's how so many of us live. We're being held. We're being nurtured. We're being nourished. We're being supported fully, fully, and completely. But we've gotten this idea into our minds that if we don't hold on with this death grip on life, it's all going to fall apart. And it actually is that death grip that is making it fall apart. So on this day of the Guru, let us realize that light is there, that grace is there, that foundation is there. We are being held. We are being carried, nourished, nurtured. But if we let go of this rope, then our lives can be free. If we empty our cups, open the blinds, get rid of the paper towel tube, then we'll be able to really live in that light. Because the Guru's here. The light's there, the grace is there, it's all there. The rest is just up to us.